the channel, the Steel Brigade rides again, but this time as a female in Valaverse Action Force, Steel Brigade.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Valaverse Action Force unboxing and review. And today on the channel from Series 3, we've got the Steel Brigade Female Edition. But for all your Steel Brigade needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $39, guess what? It ships free. Got to get a deal out there, folks, especially in these trying inflation times that we all know and love, or something like that. But today, we're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And this is, of course, our second adventure with the Steel Brigade figure from the Action Force, and we will have a third adventure shortly on the channel, so look for that. Make sure you do subscribe to this channel, as we're unboxing everything Action Force at the end of the day. But of course, we all remember Steel Brigade. If you were a G.I. Joe fan in the 80s, it was a little bit of mail-away figure, a little customized figure. Bring yourself into the G.I. Joe universe you could do. Well, the IP expired. Valaverse, very smart, jumped on it, picked up the Steel Brigade name. And just recently, we saw on G.I. Joe Day, they released G.I. Joe classified version of Steel Brigade, but since they don't have the IP, they are going to be called Steel Corp. So quite the turnaround there. That's why having ownership of certain IPs is so important. And we've seen the G.I. Joe brand, I think, lose a few of those IPs over the years. That's why you see a little bit of variations on some names, things like that. I'm sure they're working hard to get some of those back. But currently, Valaverse has Steel Brigade, and my guess is they're going to hold on to that pretty tight. And I'm sure we'll see more variations as things happen down the years in the future with the old Valaverse line. But let's take a look at old Steel Brigade. Once again, this is the female version here, which we're doing again in classified with the Steel Corp. So when Steel Corp comes out, it'll be fun to compare the two side by side to see what the better figures really are. But there it is, Steel Brigade. No human faces here, all masked faces. Very interesting. All kinds of accessories, weapons, you name it, it's all in the plastic prison there. Steel Brigade, Action Force, of course. Number 4 in Series 3, there's the familiar artwork. Would love it if the artwork all combined like Star Wars. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Action Force on the side. Got 2 more Action Force points. What am I doing with them? I don't know. Hopefully we find out sooner rather than later. Got the cross cell up top. Big file card. You guys know I love a file card. Various, of course, it's various people under the mask helmets here. Does all kinds of different work and all that kind of stuff. Steel Brigade is code name for the Support and Extraction Squadron within Action Force. Hailing back to the days of Vietnam, of the Mike Force. Oh, Vietnam. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful this time of year. Each shooter is highly trained, small arms, small team tactics. You can pause this, you can read all that kind of stuff. But I do appreciate the blurb, do appreciate the explanation, because we always say we know our G.I. Joe classified characters. We've had many years with those characters to let them breathe and play with them, know them from the comics, the cartoons. These figures over here in the Valaverse, they're all brand new, so a file card is so important to the figures here, we'll just say. Right there, you got the package, and of course, you got the stand in here. You guys know how I love a stand. I don't like that they're taped in here. It's the way they're going now. I don't like that idea. I wish they were just loose in the baggie like they were. See you later. All things must pass, as George Harrison once told me when I was a very small boy. He said, Kyle, all things must pass. See you later. And he also told me that he was a dark horse. Living on a dark race course is what he said to me. He really did, old George Harrison. See you later once again. Action Force stand, know them, we love them. I always appreciate a stand with my figures. You guys know that by now. And there's the old Steel Brigade Female Edition locked up in the plastic prison. We're going to get the old hardest working scissors in the game out here, and we're going to try to get her out of the package. And one cool thing about these Steel Brigade figures, male or female, is some of these Valaverse figures, they get extra heads. Well, what can you do? You can be very creative, and you can do some customizing. You can pull the Eclipse head and throw it on here if you want. Have her holding the helmet. You can do things like that. I really do like that customization ability with these figures. I know a lot of people love to customize things. I've said it before in the past. I'm just I don't know, I'm a purist in a lot of action figures. I hate kind of customizing, moving things. I hate making them different than stock, because I'm always scared I'm gonna break the gun, and that's exactly what I did. Oh, are you kidding me? That was my fault there. Ooh, that just grinds my gears. But I broke off the edge of the weapon right here because I wasn't paying attention. I was talking as I tried to get these out. So that is on me. That is unfortunate. I could obviously say, I wish I was stronger plastic, but that was me just not paying attention. So I broke the tip off that weapon. Oh, heartbreak, disappointment live here on the channel. Kyle, what are we doing? What are you doing here? But it happens from time to time. Uh-oh, we're locked in at the waist as well. Man, oh man, that weapon, I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to have to figure, I do have one of those ammo boxes. Hopefully that weapon is in there. I'll have to take a peek. I have not opened that up yet. But it'd be nice if I could find a replacement for that weapon. Because like I said, I'm such a purist on these things. That's going to really grind my gears once again that I don't have the correct weapon for the female Steel Brigade. Oh, almost threw the clips out. Gosh, there's a lot in here. I'm not a big fan of all this tape going on in here. Let's get rid of all this tape. It's just too much work here. It's just too much. Too much for me. See you later. Goodbye. Let me get these clips. Don't you dare call them a magazine, Kyle. Whatever you do. People will come at you if you call a clip a magazine. I don't know if you're aware of that, but they will. They'll call for your life. They will. They'll call for you to close down your YouTube channel from time to time even. So there it goes. All right, putting off to the side. Oh, this breaks my heart. Just breaks my heart. Oh, but oh, we must soldier on like a young Steel Brigade would do. But we do have hands, of course, extra hands, and it's the usual hand suspects here with the Steel Brigade. We get 2 Fists of Fury, we get gripping hands, we get the open hands to hold the weapon, or give them one of these kind of things going on. Of course, black gloves throughout, got the nice gray color to them. It's your typical Valaverse Action Force hands. Nothing wrong with them. You can truly choose your own hand adventure, as we always do say. Clips aplenty here. She can store them on her weapon, of course. You put one in there, and you can put 2 in her holsters in the front. Nice silver color, nice bright silver color. Really like the looks of these. We've seen them in black. We've seen them in silver. I do prefer silver. I think they really, really do pop, so I do like that, of course. Once again, we do get this knife. A lot of reuse. We've seen this knife many a times, usually sheathed in the back. Yep, still saying the same here. So we do have that nice silver blade, black handle. Really like the looks there. And then, of course, you do get her little side piece. I always like to call it a side piece, but you got a little blaster here. Of course, you have the effect pieces. You can pop them in the front there. Very, very nice. And then we do get the big weapon, which I absolutely love. Love this one here, and I broke the tip off, the blaster off. What are we doing, Kyle? What are we doing? User error to the 10th degree right here. Nice tan color with the black. Really, really good, but I'm probably not going to use this now that it's broke. It's just always going to irk me if I see this one there. Maybe I can glue this end back on. I don't know. My wife's a master with super glue, so I'll see if old Angie can save the day. We'll see what happens there. Now we get down to the Steel Brigade figure here, and man, they're smart. They put in 2 different helmeted heads, one with a silver kind of mask, one with gold, making the teams look different, making people say, you know, maybe I need 2 of these. Very, very smart on the Valaverse team there, of course, but looking really nice. Same head, same everything, just do you prefer in gold or do you prefer it in silver? Choose your own head adventure there, but very cool. Like I said, you can pop this off, holding the helmet on the side, put a human head on there, the Eclipse head, the Kill Switch head, Pandora head if you really want to. You could really mix these up at the end of the day. Of course, articulation-wise, arms go all the way around. You got a bicep cut, double-jointed, pinless elbows, playing the hits here. Hands back and forth, up and down. Hands are removable, as we do know. Got the up and down hinge there. Side to side on the waist. Got the big old gymnast splits for the Steel Brigade. Then you got the drop-down hips as well as we're accustomed to. Thigh cut, double-jointed, pinless knees, very tight in the knee department. Boot cut, and then ankles back and forth, up and down. You can store a lot of stuff on the old Steel Brigade. Like I said, you put the 2 clips in the front, the knife in the back. Holster can hold the little blaster pistol on the side. Just looking really, really nice here, of course. And, of course, it does go with the male version of Steel Brigade. You know, it's not just for the guys anymore. You can get some lady Steel Brigades members as well. And we will get her to stand here, hopefully. Well, why don't I use the stand? That would make some sense, wouldn't it? Let's just use the stand. Heck, she comes with it for a reason. So there you go. You put the Steel Brigade right there. And then, of course, like I said, we have another Steel Brigade member right here. So now we get the boy and the girl version of the Steel Brigade. Would be very cool. Of course, these figures are about $31, $32. Really a good price point when you think of the G.I. Joe at $24 or so, because these aren't made in the same quantities there. But it would be really fun to build these as an army. But, you know, G.I. Joe stuff you can get on clearance. You can get some deals. Heck, I bought all those Cobra Bats for $11 last week. You're not going to get that opportunity with Steel Brigade. You're not going to find these for $11. So it's a little bit more difficult to army build these guys. But I guess it depends on what you collect and what your budget is. If you're only collecting Action Force, hey, maybe you can jump in with some extra army builders over here. Very easily could be done, I would assume. Some other figures here. Of course, you got to have Sergeant Slaughter. I always like to compare Sarge to everybody in the Valaverse. And then I talked about Eclipse. Let's see if we can do a head swap here. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Usually you got to heat these guys and gals up, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe this will pop right in and we could be off to the old races, like we say. And what do you know? Fits perfectly. I really do like that. I really do like that. This is how you create different characters. Of course, Eclipse came with another head. You put that head on that body, move this over here, have her holding the helmet. There's a lot you could do with the customization over here on the Valaverse. Very, very easily customized figures. Do the same thing with male counterparts, move some different heads on there. A lot can be done to really build out this universe. If I had more funds, I would definitely do some of this stuff. Make some new characters, especially the Steel Brigade. I think it would be really cool to have a whole team holding all their masks, standing there with all the different head sculpts and the males and females. Would look very, very cool. So that's a pro tip out there for those of you that are collecting the old Action Force. And I guess you could theoretically throw the Steel Brigade head over onto here as well if you really wanted to. I'm sure it'll fit pretty easily. Pretty easily. Sure it will. There you go. Pop that right on there if you wanted to. So it goes both ways here as far as the head sculpts go. So very, very cool idea. Love an army builder. You guys know that. And I always thought it was genius that Steel Brigade is over at the Valaverse. I think that's just knowing IPs, knowing trademarks, knowing what's up, knowing what's possible. So kudos to the Valaverse team for seeing a window and sliding on in there and getting that done. So kudos to them once again. But there it is, the female Steel Brigade. Any thoughts out there from you guys? What do you think of the Steel Brigade females? All in, all out, picking and choosing, playing the long game? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some, as you guys know. And then don't forget to follow along over on Patreon, your best way to support the channel for early access to videos, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, you name it. A lot going on the old Patreon channel. You can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. And don't forget to follow along on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the Steel Brigade, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.